All right. Now we are good to go.
Oh my god, I'm so happy to be
Okay.
here. Wow, hey guys, how you doing?
What's up, dudes?
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, this
Oh my gosh.
this is the first shot at it. There's been
Wow,
no
this is
failed
great.
attempts. Yep. First time as a trio, we died to the first skeleton in the first room, but it's all right. We figured it
Exactly.
out. Ladies and gents, this is the Darkest Hour, a brand new fan Dark and Darker podcast. Definitely not official, as you can tell by the scuffedness, but that's fine. We're gonna get through this together. I'm Soma, and I'm joined by my co-hosts JayGriffYuh and DuhDonnie. What's up, boys?
Hello.
Hello.
Pleasure to be here.
How's
Very
it going?
excited.
How you guys feeling?
I feel great. I feel
I'm-
good. I feel excited. I just feel so good that we nailed this on the first go. Like it just like very rarely do things go immaculate. And this has been a perfect experience so far.
First take,
Totally
100%, you know.
I just want to say I do have the flu. I have a very bad sore throat. I am very hopped up on meds, and I have a bit of a dry cough, and I feel like shit, but I didn't want to let the boys down. So if my voice craps out or I sound awful, it's because I feel awful. But I figured this is only an hour long, so we'll survive. I'll survive.
Thank you for pulling through, man.
You know, I just thank you for saying that. I just had some hot tea. I have some water. I have some chest rub here that I'll be huffing occasionally, which will look very creepy. It's not drugs, kids. It's just
No
some Vapo
Vicks?
rub. I don't know
No
what this
Vapo?
is. This is Herbion.
It's just
Herbion.
it's just glue in a jar. That's all he's doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's totally
What
fine.
are we here to do?
We're here to talk about our new favorite game, Donnie. We're here to talk about Dark and Darker. But first, we should do some extended introductions because this is our very, very first episode of this brand spanking new fan podcast, The Darkest Hour. Why don't we just go around the room, starting with you, Donnie. Who are you? Where are you from? How did you hear about the game? What do you typically play? You know, ASL, all that stuff.
Yeah, age, sex, location. I'm a 14-year-old twink from North.
Okay.
No,
wow.
Okay.
Right off the bat.
Okay, yeah, no sponsors. Yet. We're good. No, I am a sad 20-year-old, 20-something-year-old fella who plays games that love to torture me, and I sometimes make YouTube content, and I don't know what else was on the list there.
What do you typically play?
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
gaming background, shit like that.
Yeah, typically survival games. Soma has coerced me several times into playing DayZ with him. Several 14, 12-hour gaming sessions where I could feel the coagulation of my blood in my legs. I play Tarkov. I play Dark and Darker, shockingly. Play all kinds of games. I'm an RTS gamer as well, but I like a lot of survival, make you angry, upset somebody, kind of like break your keyboard kind of games. Those are the exciting ones.
I respect that. Mr. JayGriffYuh, how about yourself, sir? Background,
Well-
what are you into, where you from, all that shit.
I'll keep it short and simple. I'm a giga nerd. I play a lot of video games, mostly competitive shooters. That's kind of been my background forever.
Like what, like
Siege,
CSGO?
Call of Duty.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Rainbow Six Siege, Call of Duty, CSGO, Valorant, all that kind of stuff is kind of my jam. Not so much these days, but yeah, I'm also a big car guy, so I figure I throw
Car
that in there.
guy, okay. All
What do you
right.
drive, Mr. Car Guy?
Oh, I got a 1990 240 SX. Got a
Okay.
420 wheel and 22 pounds of boost. You know how we do it.
Okay.
Bit of a drifter,
Nice.
bit of a street racer sometimes.
And you're from
relate.
Washington, right? Washington
State, baby.
Washington.
Yes,
Donnie's
sir.
our resident Texan.
I'm a Texan.
Yeah, we got our Texan boy here.
Yeah.
I am Soma, Jordan. You can call me Jordan if you want. I don't care what you call me in chat. Go ape shit if you want on
Where's
me.
the Spider-Man meme? Point at each other, you know.
Yeah.
It's all
I live in San Francisco currently, but as you can see, there's a shitload of boxes behind me because I am moving to Las Vegas next Saturday. So 6 days from now, which is pretty crazy. Oh man, the joys of moving. Background.
Moving-
Don't envy you.
This is my 30th move. I've moved
It's not
many,
fun.
many times.
Like, do you find yourself like packing lighter because of it? Like you don't get as crazy with decorations and stuff.
You know, I
Because
grew
you see
up.
yourself moving.
I grew up as a military brat, so I moved nonstop. So I learned how to keep shit to like a couple boxes, one backpack and suitcase, kind of a thing. And then I joined the military, and got even crazier about it. So I am a minimalist to the very core of my being. So I don't have a lot of shit. Like I care about my PC and my nerd stuff, but beyond that, I don't have a lot of crap. But yeah, I also like shooter games. I am a huge DayZ player. I streamed DayZ full time for a couple years, from 2012 to 2014, and ended up making a DayZ esport called the Survivor Games, which kind of led the way to Battle Royale. Love me or hate me.
Really?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Jesus.
Or yeah, you're welcome. I don't know. There's two camps. Then I worked at Twitch.
that's pretty cool,
for
man.
yeah, it was super cool. We ended up handing that sucker over to Bohemian Interactive, who make DayZ and Arma and whatnot. They actually tried to put Survivor Games into DayZ, but they fucked it up royally, and now it's dead. But it's okay. It's not our fault. We handed it over, so it's all good. But yeah, I worked at Twitch for a long time. I've been a part of the streaming space for a very long time. I was a excuse me, a stage host for Twitch. I ran the influencer program there. Got to know a lot of cool streamers and whatnot. And I just like content and making content on Twitch. I really like live streams quite a bit. And I just stream for fun.
Awesome background, really.
Yeah, I think collectively, we all have different backgrounds that are all pretty groovy. So together, we all come from a sort of a different space, which is great. But one thing that we can all agree on is that Dark and Darker is really fucking cool. It is an amazing game.
Yeah.
The reason why we want to do this podcast is because there isn't a Dark and Darker podcast. And I'm pretty sure that we all are eager to see more Dark and Darker content. So if you can't really find it beyond a couple of like meme videos on YouTube or in the subreddit, why not just do it yourself? So we just took three nerds that love the game, and here we are. Some of the potential things we're going to cover and the format and what we're going to do is we want to talk about anything and everything related to Dark and Darker, the game itself, dev interviews, community shit, map strats, perk and skill rankings, class rankings, group compositions, playtest discussions, patch notes coverage, roadmap coverage if they release one. Maybe we'll get a dev interview one day if this, resonates with viewers, which would be really great. But
maybe.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see. It's just an hour long. Sometimes we'll be a few minutes under, sometimes we'll be a few minutes over, but it's called the darkest hour for a reason. We don't want to go too long on it. The darkest
hour is darker.
That's true.
Yeah, we need more trench coats and like eye makeup for this hour.
We'll do a we'll do a cosplay episode.
Yeah.
If we hit it like a certain threshold, maybe one day we'll do like a cosplay. Donnie will be our shirtless barbarian for sure. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Nice.
But yeah,
nipple ring just for it.
Please don't. But yeah, we're gonna do. It's gonna be a very, very simple format. Introductions, like a main segment, a chat Q&A where we just talk with you guys, and you guys can drop comments and questions. Just understand that it's just conjecture and us bullshitting when we answer, unless there is real information that's verified and with a reliable source that we can showcase on the stream. So if there's not that, it's just us bullshitting. So just remember that. And I'll probably have to say this every single episode, but that's okay. And then we'll wrap it up. Today's episode is really just about introducing us and talking about what excites us about the game, what is our favorite aspect, and just have a free-form discussion while we gush about Dark and Darker. And that
Sounds like a plan.
is what we shall do. Why don't we start with you, Mr. JayGriffYuh. What is it about this game that you love? By the way, we are going to have some gameplay footage running, so you don't just see three sweaty, pale men with
We
some varying
could
levels
use a
of
little
facial
bit
hair.
more.
A little bit.
Yeah. We could all use a little bit more of some vitamin D. Like, it wouldn't hurt any of us to be outside for like 30 more minutes a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been raining for a month in San Francisco, my last month here. But I'm moving to a desert. I cannot wait to actually see the sun once in a while. It's going to be great.
Dude, I will
Man.
say, in Texas, it's like a very humid heat. Going to Vegas a few months back, it was like so nice to just have a dry, like nice sunny heat on you. That there's no
Oh, yeah.
swamp in between you and the sun.
Absolutely.
nice.
Yeah, I don't mind the dry
Is
heat.
it superhuman in Texas? That's how it is in Florida.
It depends on where you are, but not all the time. Sometimes though, and like the rainier months for sure. But anyway, go ahead, Jay. Tell us about the wizard.
You don't have to
Thanks,
start
Michael.
with how you're the best fucking wizard in the world. But why do you like this game so much? What's your favorite aspects? Why does it get your nerd boner quivering? What is it about Dark and Darker?
Oh man, good way to put it.
Yes.
The best thing for me, I think, is probably the devs. I've been thinking
Oh.
about it a lot, and I think honestly the devs are what make it what it is. They're fast, they listen, you know, they're trying to make a good game, and I don't think I have seen that in years personally. So, but other than that, I mean, it's got a perfect amount of charm, it's got enough jankiness, and you know, it's at a spot where I think anyone could just hop in and enjoy it. You know.
When you say
Yeah.
you haven't seen that in years, do you mean because outside of modders and indie devs, it's just a cesspool of corpos ripping the soul out of gaming and
Yes.
trying to carve out as much revenue as possible forever until they ruin
Oh, and then
whatever it
there's-
is they had?
Then
I
there's
didn't think about
China
that at
and
all. Yeah, I didn't think about
That's the
that at all.
current state of the game world right now, unfortunately. But
Yeah, absolutely. Donnie, why do you love Dark and Darker? What
Well,
is it about
I
this game?
think, I think every once in a while there's like there's the perfect marriage of like a great game idea, a game that works, but also for me personally, a game has to have like just a tasteful amount of jank for me to fall in love with it, right? Like DayZ is, great idea, execution subpar, but the jank
not
like brings it.
subpar.
Okay, par. It's workable, but the jank brings it all together. And I think like that's like the magic part of Dark and Darker is that you can't just be like some crazy like flick master. Like you actually like swinging your sword takes like a second. It's like
Right.
I don't know. It's different. It's slower. It's interesting. And I think like it's not necessarily like creating a whole new genre of game, right? Because we've seen stuff like Escape from Tarkov take a very similar approach, but it's this is like Escape from Tarkov for nerds who are bad at shooting. So that's why I enjoy it, because I'm bad at shooting. So
Well
And-
said.
good point. Yeah.
tasteful amount of jank, where it's just like, this is hilarious. Like you're a fighter, you have your arms like this, you're like it looks ridiculous. It's
I don't
There's,
know. I
um,
think there's
Animation
some
give me
players
every
that are
time.
good at shooting. I think Jay's probably good at some competitive shooters.
probably.
Summit played Dark and Darker, right? He slaps in some shooters. But you are right. I think that the reason why I like it so much is because if I don't want to embarrass myself and jump on a ranger and miss 80 headshots, I can just run in with a barbarian and break the door down and get lucky with a headshot with a felling axe. And that feels
dent
good. It
some
makes
heads,
me a bad gamer feel good about myself.
That's some good copium right there.
Absolutely,
There you go.
absolutely. I think one of the big reasons I really like this game is because it's, first of all, it's full loop PvP with a good mix of PvE in it. That's my favorite kind of game, PvEVP. I think if this game was PvE only, it would suffer. I think you need the fear of
Right.
another player breaking down the door like you just did with a fireball, to keep that fear in you, to make the dungeon that much more scary. If you could just run around skeletons the whole time, I think it would get boring real quick.
Right.
The main thing, though, is I love that it's based on Dungeons and Dragons. I am a huge tabletop nerd. I've been playing tabletop RPGs for 21 years now, I think. 21 years? Yeah, I'm old. Oldish, not really. Old enough to say I'm the old guy in this call. How about that?
There you go.
Donnie and I
What a
actually
title,
played.
you
Yeah, it's great, right? The wise old wizard. Donnie and I actually,
Hey.
the wise wizard. Donnie and I actually were in a D&D campaign together that was streamed on Twitch, which is super cool and nerdy.
Nice.
But we played in a campaign for a year and a half, from level 1 to 20.
A long ass time.
I know. Donnie played a warlock that turned into a wizard, and I played a divine soul sorcerer. I was playing a fighter before that, but my fighter was killed by
I
an
won't pretend to know
undead.
what any of that means.
Yeah, I mean the same classes, right? I was playing a fighter, just we were rolling dice instead of swinging a awkwardly slow sword in a video game.
Gotcha.
Didn't they state they want to put every D&D class into Dark and Darker? Or am I thinking? Or am I dreaming about that?
Yes, and that's another thing that excites
so,
me
yeah.
considerably. I cannot wait to see how they handle specifically the other magical based classes like sorcerer and
Dude, Bard's gonna be so fun.
and bard and warlock especially.
Druid?
Druid,
Does Druid
absolutely.
count?
That's gonna be-
Absolutely counts, yeah. I mean, there's how many D&D classes are there? Like 12 or something like that? 13?
Well, if you count the original, there's fighter, barbarian, druid, wizard, sorcerer, warlock,
Paladin?
ranger, paladin, cleric. There's 9, I want to say.
Monk,
Monk, there's 10.
fighter,
we're missing
barbarian, monk.
I don't know
Ranger,
enough, but I
Ranger.
heard that there's 12 plus 13 being artificer, which I think is newer or something.
Artificer was
Newer?
added.
Artificer.
Yeah.
Artificer came later, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That would be interesting
But
to
I
see
don't-
how they did that, if they did that in this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited about the fact that there's going to be such diversity with the classes, because right now the classes feel pretty goddamn different. They're all fun to play in their
Yeah.
own way. You can find a unique style with each of them, which I absolutely
And
love.
I think that's like a good approach, right, too, that makes it fun.
Sorry for the coffee.
Is that there's no such thing as like a Swiss Army knife class, right? Like every class has its weakness, and it kind of has like a rock paper scissors approach to balance, which I
Yeah.
think is very interesting. And I think that's why a lot of people love like classic WoW when you go back in that way, is that they love like that not one person can do everything, and it's nice to like fill a role on a team. So even if you're bad, even if you're like me and you can't shoot people, you can play cleric and you can heal people, or you can play barbarian and just swing like a madman. So.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
I never actually thought of it like that, but yeah. In classic WoW, like even if you play the worst class in spec, you might be utilized in some cases.
Yeah,
Totally.
there might be that one boss where it's like, we need an arms barbarian, we need an arms warrior, boys.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I used to play in a TBC. I played a what do you call it? I played an enhancement shaman. And listen, I am by no means good at World of Warcraft. Half the time I'm looking at my phone. I'm terrible. But because I could bloodlust and give people the extra melee crit, they're like, dude, join our raid. Like, come on, what are you doing?
Oh, I need you. Nope.
Come on.
I was an arms warrior in classic and in vanilla.
PvP boy.
I loved it. So much fun.
Yeah.
You could, chunk out a mage with like 2 hits, 2 mortal strikes. Felt damn good. But I would get my ass kicked by mages all the time too. I'd say probably, I don't know, 80% of the time up against a frost
Yeah, they're
mage,
like your counter class.
you're dead. But a bad mage, killing them in 2 hits, felt real
Yeah,
real
just
good.
chunking 'em. If you
Fuck
ever
yeah.
kill a mage in Classic WoW as a warrior, he needs to
Reroll.
go
Yeah.
pick a
He needs to uninstall or
He
just
needs
like
to
the
also
best,
become a warrior and be bad.
Yeah.
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 See, I play a rogue. We're useful everywhere, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, actually.
sons of
For the most
guns
part,
with
yeah.
yeah.
As I was saying earlier, I'm really excited to see how they handle other magical classes, because obviously in D&D, a wizard is a highly intelligent individual that studies magic. They have a spell book and an ability to cast magic simply through sheer will of learning and understanding magic, understanding and studying the arcane, right? Whereas a sorcerer has less spells available to them, but they're just innate magic users. They run on charisma and they don't study shit. And they're probably a lot dumber than the wizard, but they know how to throw a fireball out of their hand just innately. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
So how is this game going to differentiate between an innate type caster like a sorcerer and someone that has to have a spell book in their hand or a crystal ball or something like a wizard? And then you get to warlock. A warlock makes a pact with some otherworldly being You know, there could be a regular person. They're like, I wish that I had powers. I'm willing to sell my soul to Cthulhu. And then Cthulhu's like, all right, here's some cool magical abilities. You have to do my bidding now. And that's a warlock, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to do warlock. I don't know how you're going to differentiate between warlock, sorcerer, and wizard at the end of the and like this game. You know what I mean?
I think warlocks are going to have Eldritch Blast, which would be sick.
What is Eldritch Blast?
Eldritch Blast is
You're
just
shooting, like,
cackling
force at
energy.
people?
It's like, it's kind of.
But is that their only thing? You know what I mean? Or
That-
they get like 2 uses of like powerful spells.
See, I think
they, like, I
warlocks
can-
would have very powerful spells, but only a couple of them. Like I think,
like 1 or 2
a
uses.
warlock would be able to, for instance, dominate a monster, which is a spell in D&D.
I was gonna say, do they not summon stuff?
They can
Dominate a
they
monster
can.
is nice.
Not even
But can
summon.
you
Like
dominate that?
what if a wraith was coming at you and the warlock, who only has like 2 spells every lobby, was just like, all right, you're my pet now for the next 4 minutes or something like that.
Ooh.
And that, but he only gets that a couple times, and then he just has a blasty ability, and he's squishy.
Maybe.
I think some people, I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm just, this is
Sounds
conjecture
spicy.
and bullshit, but I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. I want to play
I don't know.
druid and turn into a rat and like scurry away. So I want to go into a little rat
Oh,
hole
man.
and just hide.
Imagine a
that would be
plague,
awesome. Can you imagine if you actually could turn into like a little rat or a little animal, and there's very, very specific little hidey holes and pathways in the map just for your rat ass to fit through and scurry through?
That would be great. That or like a cat or something small, just to like scurry away.
That's actually
That'd be
cool.
hilarious. And a team of rats. You're just like, there's nobody here. Like this hallway's clear, and you turn around, there's just 3 smelly druids next to you. They all turned out a rat form.
And then they turn into wolves and just bite your ass down, drag it down and eat you. And then I'm sure druids would heal too, obviously.
Yeah, I think it would
I
be
would
cool if
think.
they had a druid
Just
and you
a
had
lot.
like a couple forms. You had like a wolf form, like a rat, cat, like something small that can scurry away.
I think they would.
you
I
had-
think they would have diversity in their spells. I think you would be able to go in with a shape-shifting ability, maybe a heal, maybe some sort of root, like some vines come out of the ceiling or the floor and hold you
Yeah.
for a couple, like a trap, like a hunting trap.
You know, spike growth from 5e,
Mhm.
like where it's like that'd be cool. Like vines in the ground that slows you down. That'd be a great
Yeah.
druid spell.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you play D&D at all, Jay?
I just started my first campaign, and we're like on the 2nd session, so I still have no clue what's going on.
what
Well,
class you playing?
do you like it, and what class are you?
I'm the worst role player ever, but I am a dragonborn barbarian, and I'm butt naked. So
That's great.
Why are you just balls in the wind?
He's a
I thought
dragon
it would be
boy.
funny.
He's
No,
a dragon
well, no
boy.
loincloth, like no respectable loincloth, just hanging out the sausage.
Does a
it'd
dragonborn
be
have
funny.
a humanoid schlong hanging out? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want
See,
to think about that.
They
but
say I have
I
a
don't-
barbed wiener, man. So
A
Oh.
barbed
I take their
wiener?
word for it. Yeah,
Oh.
I guess that's what a
Yes,
dragon would have.
hey, chat, go ahead and look up some Rule 34 for Dragonborns and get back to
Yeah.
us.
Don't post
Anyway,
anything in chat.
just at me on Discord.
Yeah, you can text me your pics.
Personal
your
reason.
your barbed penis pics. Please don't.
Yeah, your Rule 34 of some Dragonborns, please. No, D&D's great. I think it's cool that they like are taking a lot of inspiration from D&D, and you can really see it in the game. But I don't think they need to be like married to it, in my opinion.
I think they are
Yeah,
though.
I
I
think
think they
they-
kind of are. I think in
think
dev
they
interviews,
doubled
didn't they
back.
say? Yeah.
I think they backpedaled a little bit and said that we're not D&D inspired, we're fantasy inspired. But that might just be because of the whole
Oh, interesting.
Wizards of the Coast OGL thing that I also.
Yeah.
Oh, they
probably.
said that
You don't
recently?
want to get sued.
Did they say that recently?
I think it was. I can't remember. I think so. Yeah, I think it was recently.
Yeah, the open games license thing, that was quite the debacle. Not good.
Well, they kind of fixed it.
Yeah, I mean, they had to backpedal when they lost
Yeah.
like 70% of their people on
The
D&D
gamer
Beyond.
rage.
And people were like,
Overnight,
fuck
yeah.
Hasbro and fuck Wizards. Yeah, they kind of had to backpedal. But see,
Yeah.
isn't that great when a consumer base can say, you know what, you guys just fucked up and we're going to vote with our wallets, and then they have no choice but to backpedal? That's
Yeah.
great. It's a small victory.
That's how you got to do it, right there.
I don't know
Yeah.
how much they actually
No, I
backpedal, though.
agree.
There could be some sneaky shit going forward that, will be discovered later, and they're still villains that didn't actually fix anything. We'll see.
Hope not.
That would be very sad. Yeah. Okay, so what are you guys looking forward to beyond playing it, of course, in the next playtest, which is February 6th through the 13th, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking wish list, new content would be nice. Whether that's like a new map or a new mode. I know they added. Was High Roller in the original playtest, or was that just now added in the last one?
No, this was just the first time we've seen it.
Yeah, see, High Roller was
history.
great. A new class would be nice.
Potentially Bard.
New content would be nice. Yeah. But I mean, you know, if they come out with just the same old, like, I'm not complaining. But you know, for wish listing items, it'd be nice to have like a different map, maybe like a forest, like a dark, shady forest, or something along those lines.
That's the word on
Or a
the
new
street,
class.
yeah.
Yeah, they were saying. Now this is hearsay, but from what I understood, that the dungeon is not the first map. You got to go into like a forest, then you get into the dungeon, and then you go to hell. Is
Yeah.
what
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
So that'd be cool if we started
starting on the second
playtesting.
level.
Yeah, that'd be cool if we started playtesting like the first level. That'd be interesting.
I think they have to. Yeah, it's kind of worrying
yeah.
that you got to think like I would want to see like the core systems be in before early access comes out because
Yeah.
Well,
if we don't test them, then it might be a scary road, you know.
I think the good news about the game is that the majority of core systems are out. It's just how do you want to put players up against each other, right? Like the game itself works really well. Like I've never been like, I'm around the corner. How did that archer shoot me? Like I've never had a problem with that.
Right.
So, and from my opinion, I think the core systems are there. It's just it's a content issue now. Not even issue, I say.
Quests and
Yeah, it's definitely a little
yeah,
bigger.
yeah. Quests would be cool. Missions. Some Tarkov missions. I got to go
it's
get
kind
the
of what
pocket
it is.
watch.
Yeah, kill the lich, blah blah blah, shit like that. There's
Yeah.
there is also
Ish.
that character page that's locked that has some other progression path, which is going to be
Oh,
fun.
the talent trees type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be cool to see what they do with that.
Yeah, see stuff like that would be cool.
Yeah, I think that's going to get a slow rollout. I think they're probably going to just want to test as many classes as they can, and then during early access, which is rumored to be starting in April, we'll see if that actually happens. Maybe they'll just slowly continue to roll shit out during that early access period. But
Yeah.
is the plan still? Do you guys know? Is the plan still to release by the end of this year? Like full release?
I have no idea.
Or is my fear is this is just going to get
think
stuck
so.
in early access hell, like a lot of games do.
I don't think that's
Well,
necessarily
someone
bad.
told me
Daisy.
saying that they were going to start in or they were going to release in Q3 and they pushed it back to Q4. So I think they're just maybe playing it safe, I would hope. And they also said that April early access was their safe target, so I interpret that as it could be sooner, you know.
Jay, did you
Unlikely
play?
to really be much later.
Did you play all the playtests?
I played all of them except the August one, which I think was invite only, but
Okay.
I've heard that it wasn't now, so I'm not sure how.
You had to request access. They just started handing it out. Towards
Right.
the end. I played like the last day. I think I was like in
Oh really? Wow.
out of town, and I came back on the last day and got access to it.
Hmm.
It
Yeah, how were those
bad,
early
isn't
playtests? How much different was this last one compared to the earlier ones? 'Cause
Very
I didn't
similar.
I only played
I
this
mean,
last one.
From what I understand, they tweaked numbers. Like they've changed numbers and stuff. I don't want to say abilities changed, but they've definitely tweaked numbers and stuff, like how much damage so and so does. But I mean, it feels very similar to where the game's at now. You know, minus like high roller. They did have the maps were different because like I know back in the other playtests you could play both maps, but now there's the high roller map and then there's the regular dungeon. I know that was in the latest playtest, but other than that, very very similar. That's why I feel good about the game because I feel like they're just tweaking and balancing, and then the next step is just add more stuff to do.
Right.
So a lot of people think that the wizard was slightly OP, and then you get guys like Jay who kind of prove that because he slaps ass up and down the block as a wizard. GG on being number one. Excuse me with my sick throat. GG on being number one. But wizard was not this strong in earlier playtests, right? Wasn't there other classes? Wasn't the rogue at one point really disgusting and they had to kind of nerf bat it?
I don't know. Like I said, I think they tweaked numbers, right? But I think maybe it was just a thing people didn't know how good the wizard could be.
Yes.
Because it's not like there's a
Yeah.
manual out. You know what I mean? There's
True.
not like there's a manual. Like now people are figuring it out, but like, you know, everyone's playing the game the first day. It's like, what do I do? This wizard thing's confusing. I'm gonna go stab somebody, you know?
That's a good point.
So yeah. But I don't know if they tweaked the
think-
wizard at all.
I think people just were bad. You know, I mean, everyone back then was bad. I was bad. Everyone was bad. Especially playtest 1. There was like what, 1,500 people, 5,000 people online by the end of it. So
Yeah.
at least concurrent player base. But yeah, playtest 2 is when it finally hit me that like, wow, this could be a very good class. And then I just dug in this recent playtest. So I was shocked when they buffed it. Honestly, like they did the patch day 1 or day 2 or something, and they reduced the cast time on like half the spells. I don't know what they were thinking, because honestly, it's probably been OP the entire time. People just learn how to play. You know.
So it got a buff, is what you're saying.
You said what? Sorry.
It got a buff.
Yeah, Wizard got a buff. They got a bunch of new spells, and they reduced their cast time. So yeah, they buffed them, and it's because it was the least played class by far. Honestly, that was
Really?
like the only metric I can think of. Yeah.
So, were people just afraid of it? People were just afraid.
I really like Wizard.
It's just hard to play. Like hard to get going. My first like 20 games, I probably quit 5 times on the Wizard. I was like,
really?
Oh, this shit's just unplayable. Yeah. Playtest 2 when I first started trying it. Yeah, I quit a bunch.
I think people were just bad because I played playtest 2 with the Wizard, and I didn't really go like popping off by any means, but like I enjoyed the comp it added, right? Like I would haste my teammates. I had a whole thing where I would turn the barbarian invisible and then I'd haste him and I'd be like go in there and like start whooping ass, and I would just shoot fireballs from the back. So I always thought Wizard was good. I didn't think he was bad. I just think it was confusing. You know what I mean? I think of all the classes, right? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it's just a higher skill cap class, I think.
Yeah,
that's really what sets it apart. Makes it hard to get into.
Okay, speaking of skill, be honest.
Yes.
When you first played the game, did you die in the first room to PvE shit? I did. I have to fucking admit it.
Everybody did, I think.
I got into that first room.
To play the game.
Yeah, I picked fighter, and I thought that I could just tank hits with my shield and swing the sword. I didn't realize that I'd be swinging the sword like I was underwater.
Right.
I didn't realize that a common skeleton would hit so hard, depending on where it hit you. And I think like a mummy showed up and, you know, puked out its green gas cloud. And I didn't know that it could move towards you. And I crapped out to like, I think the 3rd mob in the first room. And I was horrified and I fell in love at the same time. Did you guys die in the first room? You can admit it.
I don't know.
Hard to remember, but I want to say 90%, yeah. More than likely.
I think I got messed up. I don't think I died, though, in the first room. I don't know, though.
I just remember trying to block with the shield, and I was just like, I was getting pissed. I was like, this thing just doesn't work, man. You can't. It's so hard to block the attacks. When
we gotta. I feel like the things hit you in the head. You gotta like when you block, you gotta like aim up to like block most attacks from mobs, because they do the whole overhand thing. So it's like you gotta aim up.
Which
and
makes
I think
sense.
that's part of like yeah. And I think that's another fun thing, like in PvP, when you're fighting somebody, is like most people go for a headshot, right?
Yes.
So you got to aim your shield up, and like some of the outplay there is that like because you think I'm gonna go for the headshot, I'm gonna fucking whack those little legs.
Yeah, give me them toes.
Yeah, give the toes. But
do you guys think there's a clear overpowered class?
I mean, if you want my hot take, I think Ranger's fucking cooking.
It's pretty strong.
I think the best comp in the game is 3 Rangers. No competition.
They can never hit you back.
I don't know. I
kill them before they even move.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think a solo wizard could take 3 Rangers. I know Ranger kicks the shit out of a wizard if they see him, but if you have good positioning, you haste and go invisible and get behind them, and you have a dagger with ignite. Can't you just chop him in the head quick? Go invisible again, get to the next wizard, or Ranger, and rinse and repeat. Unless they're good, unless they have shroud aim, and then you're just gonna get shot in the head and die in 2 arrows, right?
They hit the 180 flick on you, one tap, you know.
I have gone up against Rangers that can do that. It sucks.
Yeah, they can. They react fast enough. It makes it very hard for you as a wizard, but Overpowered class. I mean, it's probably tied. Wizard and Ranger, I think, are very high up there in terms of the OP board.
Yeah,
And I think also Wizard's not as gear dependent, whereas Ranger is very gear dependent. Because if you have a good bow, like 2-3 shots, you can be killed. Or if you're rocking like a crossbow and a bow, like, or the spear. The spear is very strong too in melee.
Yeah, Spear is very strong.
Yeah.
Spear is
So
my
it's just-
favorite weapon in the game, dude. I cannot wait to go fighter with a spear and a crossbow.
Never used it, man.
The spear is
Fighter
so
with a
Maybe I'm missing
good.
out.
crossbow.
Oh, it's so good. It's so
I feel
fun.
like fighter is a good tank though. You want the tank. Like take the bow and stuff, but you want the sword and board, in my opinion.
You bring it too. Like if you're gonna
I
go,
agree,
if
yeah.
you go in knowing, well, here's the thing: if you go in with just the strategy to kill players, take their shit, and get out, bring in a spear and a crossbow or a bow with Weapon Master perk. But if you know that you want to go do some PvE shit and try to take out a boss in hell, bring the spear, but also slap a sword and shield in your inventory. Just bring it too and swap it out before you go in the room, because you're gonna run into players, right? And if you can, if you have good footwork and you can just stay out of people's range with the spear, fuck, it is an annoying weapon. It is so, and it's
It's got that
strong as
range on
shit.
it.
Yes, I think it's the best. It's the best melee weapon for range, except for halberd, right? I think the halberd maybe is slightly longer. I can't remember.
I don't know.
This is stuff that we get to dig into as the podcast continues on over the months.
But no, I legitimately think because the Ranger, I don't think the Ranger, because the Ranger has a heal. It has like a 3-time heal, which is like I don't think it needs that.
I
really
don't think it needs
rations.
three.
And
I don't
a
need
campfire.
Maybe one.
Yeah.
Maybe one.
One ration,
like-
one campfire, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so like they get so much. If anything, if I was gonna nerf anything, I'd nerf the heal on them. I'd probably give them one heal, because like when you run 3 Rangers, you don't need a cleric. Everybody can just heal themselves, and then outside of that, just buy potions and buy bandages, and
Yeah.
you're good, dude. So
Yeah.
either that or make the heal over time, because the ration is an instant heal, which is like you ate bread, now you just feel better. All this, like I don't know, like
It's a
but meanwhile,
video
a health-
game, Donnie.
Okay, but then you drink a health potion, and the health potion takes like 20 seconds to heal like health, right? So
Okay. Okay, that's a decent
just
point.
saying.
That's a decent
At
point.
least they added
Maybe
an
it's
animation, dude. You used to shoot an
Yeah.
arrow and insta heal and go back to shooting, no downtime.
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
that's true.
Back in the day, you could play Escape from Tarkov. There was no healing animation, so you could be
Yep.
full on pushing somebody, shooting them in the face while your guy's healing himself.
Terrible.
So, yeah, it was. You could be doing surgery on yourself and moving, I believe, back in the day. So it was like,
Miss those days, man. What a
Yeah.
time.
yeah.
I put
I don't
like
think surgery actually.
I put like 200 or 300 hours into Tarkov. I don't think I ever improved. That's why Dark and Darker is the perfect game for me, because I actually felt like I was
Hard
getting
game.
better. Tarkov is so fucking hard.
Here's the problem. Tarkov is like 60% of the time you're doing chores to have that 40% of the time where you're having like the best time of your life. Because 60% of the time you gotta make sure you have your bank account, you gotta have the bankroll to roll big gear, and you gotta have like the quest and all the other stuff done so you can buy the stuff at not a crazy price. And so that's why like I'm kind of done with Tarkov right now, is because it's like I have to do my chores in order to have my fun, and I'm like, I'm
And the
good.
downtime in between games, I feel like it takes
Crazy.
forever, right?
Yeah.
No.
No,
I mean, if you're quick. I mean, if you're with a team, it can. Like,
Can't
say
get
we go
around
on a
the queue
raid.
time.
Queue
No,
time
queue time was
sucks.
bad
Yeah.
at launch, but now it's fine. It's always bad at wipe. It's always bad. It's always like 10 or plus minutes or some crazy shit. But like now you can
That's
do a
the
raid in like
time
3
to
minutes.
play, you know? That's
I
why
agree,
it's a
but, like,
shame.
It's still early wipe. It was this month or Christmas time. So it's still early wipe. It's just yeah, I don't know.
I definitely,
Tarkov.
yeah. I mean, it's fine, but I definitely noticed that it just kind of took. Look at you, just disrespecting this man as you squat all over him. Disgusting, Jay. Yeah, I did notice that the queue times were pretty bad. Like the downtime in Tarkov kind of turned me off. And look, you can have massive downtime in Dark and Darker as well if you are trading. Like there's going to be people in Dark and Darker that just trade. because nerds
yeah.
are gonna nerd.
Oh, the whole.
Yeah.
I love that. You guys like the whole like
Ye old trading
school
post
WoW
here. Oh, I love it.
shoutcast.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It is the best when there's a player economy that's healthy and there's nerds that haven't been in a dungeon in months and they're just trading only, watching their gold
And they're
pile
loaded.
increase. Yeah, I think
They
that's
have
pretty
more
cool.
gold than your whole group combined. You know?
Yeah, I think that's cool.
No, it's fun.
People are addicted to watching that gold number go up.
Yes, they
Yeah, it's all
are.
funny money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, no, dude. I mean, like people, it's the same effect as in games. I mean, this game is very similar as far as like a raid basis to Escape from Tarkov, right? It's the same thing when you play this game. Like, there's the whole playtest area, right, where it's like you can play for a week. I'll have friends. I'll be like, let's go. Like, bring your gear, and they're like, no, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I'm like, bro, the game is over in like
Yeah.
2 days.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, let's go.
Still
Like,
hoarding.
your bank account should be empty. Like, it's gone in 2 days. Like, what are we doing?
Yep.
But
Yeah,
you know, there's-
having
but there's
gear
that, like-
fear, yeah, during a play test, like, dude, use that gear up.
Crazy.
yeah,
Go
but
in
no,
there.
there's that like primate part of your brain where you're like you're still like a
Hoarding?
hunter gatherer,
Yeah.
right? Where you're like, I gotta get ready for winter, you know. So
Yeah,
you
that's
just
true.
don't want to run this stuff.
That's true. Yeah, chat, we just wanted to have a bit of a general discussion for this first one. In future episodes, we are going to have a specific subject or subjects, probably 1 or 2, maybe 3 that we cover. But for this first one, we just wanted to dip our toes into the water. And with the final...
Still a little leg.
Yeah, a whole leg. We
Yeah,
also want to move
so-
into a Q&A, chat Q&A, where you guys give us your comments, your questions. We talk about it, make shit up on the spot. Or if there's, actual information out there that we can showcase, we will, obviously cite our sources. But if you guys have any comments or questions, now is your chance to address one of us, all of us. Say whatever you got to say. What's your dream build, or what are you looking forward to the most? Ask us whatever. But please. Oh,
Rating.
Laughing Depressed says talk about floor 1 more. Yeah, so the rumor is that the first level that players will traverse is an outdoor wooded space, and you have to actually make it to the dungeon that Jay here on the screen is in, that everyone play tested this last play test. This is actually the second level, and then opening a hell portal goes down to the 3rd level. And who knows, maybe there will be a floor before the woods, maybe there will be a floor after hell. But that is...
I want to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want a badass tree fort in the wood level. I want like a
that'd be cool.
sick tree fort system.
that could be cool.
No
Give me a little
girls
tree house to
allowed.
live in.
He-Man
Yeah.
Womanators Club. Yeah.
I'm just running a no girls allowed a ranger club up in the tree fort. Just me and my 2 ranger pals just raining hell. Oh,
Yeah, and
Down the street, I'll have mine. Girls are allowed, No way.
There you go.
We funnel
There you
them
go.
in. Funnel them in.
anyone allowed. Laughing Depressed said, what's your guys' opinion on floor 1 being bigger? I think the woods should be the biggest. I think it should be the easiest, where most players will be, right? Maybe the biggest lobby as well. And then you have to fight through the forest to get to this dungeon. Then you go into the dungeon, play through the dungeon as we see.
okay. Quick question:
Yeah, go for it.
Is it okay? Am I just bad at remembering the map, or is it procedurally generated, where there's like blocks of the map that are placed in different areas each time?
I think
No,
it's...
they're
is it
just
the
set maps.
Yeah.
It's the set map. Okay. See, I'm just
Yeah.
bad at remembering maps. I would
Yeah.
be cool.
I think they said
with...
they'll come back to it, and they might do that at some point.
Did they do
Make it procedurally
procedural in the
generated.
first? Or am I just bad
They
at the game? I don't know.
specifically said they are not very good at making procedurally generated maps, but they will come
Yeah.
back to it in the future. So, but I mean,
Okay.
they went up from like what 1 map to 6, so they can probably
Yeah.
pump them out.
Yeah,
like
they're
crazy
gonna-
as
they're
it
probably gonna-
that's
currently
why-
is.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why it feels like different maps. It's very similar,
Yeah.
very similar maps, but they're like modular, like Lavender Press said, like placed in
Yep.
different areas. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Um,
I would be the only thing I would say would be cool about the forest level is maybe make it less room oriented? Because like now, it feels like a very like room to room to room. It'd be cool if it was more of an open design. That'd be interesting.
Yes, I
See what
agree.
happens.
You must be a ranger player, huh?
Well,
It would be a heavily wooded forest, so
Yeah,
there's
like,
lots
make,
of
like,
trees to
hedges
hide.
and
Need
Yeah.
a lot of
trees.
bushes or
Lots of
something.
trees to hide behind.
yeah. No, for sure. But like, it would be cool if it was more of an open design where like, because right now it feels like when a bunch
Would
of
be a
teams come
change-up for
together,
sure.
yeah, it doesn't feel like it happens very often unless in certain rooms that feel very open.
Mhm.
But it'd be cool to see like more like central areas where like more than 2 teams could fight at one time. That'd be interesting.
Right.
Oh yeah, I
Some
think
big
that
old battles going on.
agreed. Yeah, I think that floor 1, the forest, will probably likely be the biggest lobby, right? Just like
You would hope.
in this
Yep.
playtest, there's only so many blue portals. You get down to the last player or two, their only option is a hell portal or die.
And I think
Right?
that
So-
was a good change from
I
the
agree.
original.
I think it's a good
Because
change, too.
originally it was very like safe. You'd be like, oh, there's gonna be 3 portals show up. Like, no, not anymore. Not
Agreed.
anymore.
Plebor says, for Jay, if you were to nerf Wizard, what would you change to keep the class relevant and not completely gut it?
I would just do damage personally. I know a lot of people don't like the haste invis, but I mean, I'll say it all day. The damage is way too strong, so that would be my go-to personally.
Especially
And they're
Magic
already kinda
Missile,
doing
right?
that. Yeah, magic missiles is I mean, it's the highest damage per cast or per any
Yeah.
click in the game, so they just need to maybe rework the spell a little bit. Reducing damage, and they're already doing that with magic resistance being added to everybody. That's like a confirmed
Oh.
change. I don't know if it's coming out yet, but
They're adding
they already
MR.
said
Is
that's
that like a
happening.
stat that like armor can have?
Oh, well, I mean, there's a
they're
perk for
increasing, I think,
Barbarian.
base
Yeah.
MR.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the Barbarian
cool.
has a perk where you just get 100 more magic resist. You just throw that perk on as passive.
It'd be
Oh,
cool if
yeah.
you could wear
It's
armor
very
in the
noticeable.
game. That like there were drops like more legendary armor or whatever could like like 10% more magic resist.
There is
or-
that. There's like dark plate armor and other armor types.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Yep.
That's how much I know.
No, it's okay. You're going to learn more starting February 6th. I think if I may, plebor, I would remove. I would scale down damage. I agree, but I also would remove the speed buff from invisibility. Keep invisibility as is, but get rid of the speed buff. You have haste. Haste gives you a speed buff. Why is there also a speed buff in invisibility? I think that
That is a hot topic.
yeah. I
Is
would
there a
say I
speed buff
personally would get
for,
rid of the speed buff and invisibility.
Is there a speed buff for the potions or just the spell?
Well, if you drink an
Um,
invisibility pot, you have to stay still.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's a very good utility. But yeah, I would
I
ditch
think
the
the move
10%
speed will
speed.
come off.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
seems like such an easy let's just get rid of it, and it
You
probably
have
doesn't do
haste.
much harm.
Like if anything,
Yeah.
give haste 5% more speed. Take the 10% speed buff out of invisibility. Seems easy. And then
So there's 16 on the second floor. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, it's all good.
16 to 18 or something is what they were saying going into this, but I think floor
Dude.
1 will have 35 or 32 or 33 somewhere in there. One of those.
That's insane. That's
Yeah, a lot of
awesome.
people.
That's
Just
cool.
carnage
That's
on
cool.
the top level.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Just noob deleting.
Laughing Depressed says, what's your opinion on more races and how they will affect classes and gameplay along with base stats? So if they do lean into Dungeons and Dragons, there will be other races, or now species is what they call them. But the first thing I think of is motherfucking Oddjob and GoldenEye. Do you remember the game GoldenEye, kids? Anyone? No? GoldenEye on N64?
I just remember the Deagle. The
Okay.
gold gun.
GoldenEye.
I played it a few
GoldenEye.
times.
GoldenEye was one of my favorite games. As a junior boomer, I remember when that game came out, and I played the fuck out of it. And I remember when I unlocked Jaws and I unlocked Oddjob. Oddjob is a little person, very, very short. Jaws is a fucking giant motherfucker with metal teeth.
Oh.
He's a villain in James Bond.
Yeah.
Jaws, playing as Jaws sucked ass. But it was maybe slightly harder to get a headshot. You just had to aim a little higher. A good Oddjob player, if they had good movement, could dunk on a guy or a girl. Dunk on a person.
Just because they were such a
But
smaller hitbox.
you could also, yes, but you could also get some good headshots because he was waist level too. So it was a give and take.
Right.
But a good odd job player was very annoying. So now imagine a dwarf barbarian scuttling around in a dark and darker dungeon. Man, so big
OP.
Tata.
Everyone's re-rolling.
Yeah, Big Tata just said no odd job. I remember playing with my friends. We would say, "All right, we're in agreement here. No odd job, right?" And then we'd have a nerd handshake. All right, no odd job. As we hand job each other, handshake. Yeah, no odd job. But yeah,
Gentleman's agreement. There you go.
Yeah, I can just see everyone playing a dwarf ranger, dwarf wizard. I think they probably will introduce something like that, though. It makes sense.
That'd be neat, though. Like elves are more nimble but less health. Dwarves sturdier but slower.
Yeah, like if there is. Well, here's the thing, though. If an elf just has better resourcefulness and agility, that's really fucking strong. You can open doors and chests faster. Your agility allows you to attack faster. Everyone's going to want to play an elf because going plus all attributes and then agility is pretty much the move beyond like true magic damage, true physical damage, and adding damage, right? Jay,
we'll just make him a glass cannon.
Well, then what about why would an elf? Why would an elf barbarian be a glass cannon? He's a big beefy guy. Why is he going to have less health? That's when you get into tricky shit. So I think they should be cosmetic only.
Yeah.
I think you just, hey, I want to play an elf or I want to play an orc. It is purely cosmetic. That is it. I think that makes the most sense.
Take a page from WoW's book and like lock certain classes behind certain races if they really wanted to go that route, you know.
That too, actually.
But big OP.
But WoW has like tabs targeting, right? If you're gonna make it purely cosmetic, then everyone in the game is gonna buy dwarf and run dwarf because you get a smaller hitbox. That's
there
just.
You go.
So I think like if you want to,
they're all the same height. You know?
Yeah, so just a big fat guy like a big muscly dude.
Yeah, Big Tata says, or you get 1 innate perk per race. So if you could choose a racial, or every race has a particular racial attached to them, that gives some sort of passive perk. That's cool, but it has to be balanced very carefully.
I think the way you should do it by balancing it is like human should be the baseline. Elf should be the glass cannon, like high risk, high reward. And then dwarf should be like the sturdy, slower, but smaller hitbox. But you have more health because you're slower and you're smaller.
Yeah, it would not. It only makes sense if a dwarf just has more health, right? That's Dungeons and Dragons in a nutshell, right?
They're slower, they're
sturdy, strong dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, if you make it cosmetic, then I'm gonna run a dwarf all day and like just headshot everybody.
Right.
I don't know.
As a dwarf, you're not gonna be tall enough to actually shoot arrows through the window of a door. You'd have to jump on a box to be able to shoot through the window.
Okay.
That's kind of hilarious.
Fair.
And in turn, you would never have to crouch in front of a door hoping to not get shot in the head because your head would not extend to even see through the window. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm playing a half. I'm playing a gnome. Screw all you guys. Just a little gnome.
I will say about racial abilities, they scare me from WoW because out of like the 10 different races, you only pick 2 of them, and like 90% of situations. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. No. I mean, there will be the min-max race.
Yeah, like when WoW Classic came out, I played both Horde and Alliance. I like both. It's fun to play both. Yep. But everyone knew what the meta was, right? All these years later, WoW Classic came out. I wanted to play Arms Warrior. Guess what? I have to play Horde. I have to pick an orc if I want to be, competitive and.
RIP your parses, man.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty when you get shoehorned into a certain playstyle because that's the meta. And people will say, well, you don't have to play the meta. Well, I think that we're all a little sweaty in this podcast, right? Can we all agree? Like we're all kind of sweaty.
I think like
a little bit.
A little sweaty. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're mopping up.
I think there's certain environments where it's okay to not be sweaty, but in a WoW raiding guild, you have to be sweaty or everyone dislikes you. Like
yes, if you're the only guy or gal that's not sweaty, you just get removed from the raid.
Yeah,
you got to be wet with everybody. Yeah,
100%. Or you go join the Barbie guild. No in between.
Yeah.
And the Barbie Guild does not clear the content all the time. And that, then I'm not getting my loot.
And then you don't want to play. And then you don't get on and you go play something else.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Like Dark and Darker. Does anyone have any final questions or comments or anything to say, to bring up? Anything that needs to be addressed in this this pilot episode of The Darkest Hour? Oh, by the way, Jay, thanks for supplying awesome gameplay footage for the podcast.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we're gonna
for throwing it on the stream, dude.
Yeah, I think it would probably be a good idea for us to once in a while trio up and have some group play to showcase.
Yeah, be sick.
So it's not always Jay with the
Jay
Santa hat on in the top left. Yeah.
Yeah,
farming Jay's
why aren't
YouTube
you good?
video. Yeah. Oh my God, that's one thing I'm worried about when we do play together. Either Jay is going to be a really good sport and he's going to carry us and it's all going to be laughs and it'll be a bit of a meme, or Jay is going to quickly realize that he has started a podcast with some shitters.
Oh, come on, man.
We're not that bad. I got quite good at the game in the final day. I found my stride.
I would never think you guys are bad.
You should have seen Soma his first day trying out Dark and Darker. It was a treat. The man, you were very short tempered with this video game, and on your first 10 minutes.
I was short tempered because I was quitting weed. I like cannabis, and I was quitting cannabis that same week. And I don't know. Do you smoke the ganja, Jay? Do you even say?
I also quit. I quit a few months ago.
Yeah, okay.
I
so
would never.
Did you smoke habitually and then quit?
Yes.
Okay, how did you feel the first couple weeks? Irritable?
Oh, well, I also quit nicotine during that time.
Oh.
So I double cold turkeyed it, and I was just, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't play games with my
you're a
friends for a
streamer,
few weeks.
though.
I didn't want to be that guy.
Aren't you supposed
Dude,
to have
totally.
a vape?
You have vapes and joints.
I'm back to it now, so.
Yeah. Back to nicotine?
Long,
Back to nicotine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hey.
Yeah,
I'm about to start the quitting again, though.
Good for you.
Strawberry, whatever. What's the fruity flavor thing they give all the kids?
The Jewels? Jewel
come
pods?
suck on some Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, this one's
guys
pumpkin
are
berry
14.
tart. There you go, kids. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
come
terrible.
on.
But yeah, I was quitting sweet Chiba, the devil's lettuce, the same week, and I had a short temper. I admit it. I'm self-aware.
It was a treat.
Yeah, Donnie got to laugh at me.
I have some blackmail. If he ever runs for office, I'm dropping those.
Thanks, Donnie. You're a good friend.
Yeah.
So how many times was your death Donnie's fault, though? You know.
Oh, it was more. It was more our
rage.
friend Rival. We have a friend Rival Bishop who only plays Ranger. And that motherfucker shot me in the back so many times and killed me several
Rival
times.
was having the opposite problem. Rival was doing the opposite of quitting weed. He was actually doubling down. Because
He was
every raid,
dabbing.
He was
Dabbing and globbing. Every single time we escaped, he would have a celebratory glob. Because this guy has the tolerance of a Greek god. Like, this man is insane.
He's going to the Misty Mountain.
Jesus.
Dude, it was intense. But he's just like...
Every dab was
he's
another
just
arrow in your back.
slowed
Huh?
down, just shooting me in the back. Oh, yeah. It sucked, but it's okay. I am over the quitting weed hill, so I don't give a shit anymore. Donnie stream? What about Donnie stream? Mr. Laughing Depressed.
Oh, I think he's asking about it. I don't really stream all that much, but we had technical difficulties, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think the dynamic here is Donnie is more of a YouTuber than a streamer. Jay does both, and I'm more of a streamer than a YouTuber. I think that's how it breaks down. So we all have our own class, I guess you could say.
There you go.
Though I do plan... Yeah, you're multi-classing. I'm a live guy. Donnie is a really good editor. But there is one thing that I think is going to be really important if you want to grow as a content creator, and that's YouTube Shorts or Reels or TikTok.
We should definitely do something.
Yeah, I definitely want to get some free editing software and do some YouTube Shorts, like one a day of like a cool play or something like that. I don't know.
Just talk to. I know a guy. All right, I'll get you something free. Like
No,
we'll
there's
talk after this.
there's some free shit you can download.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple things fall off the truck. Well, come on. Hey,
Oh,
my Uncle Tony
Donica.
knows a guy. Come on.
Oh, Donnie, you're so silly.
Nah, I would never. Hey,
I know you're a
pirating's
good guy.
Crime.
It is.
All right.
It is a crime.
All right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Do the piracy
Don't
is
do it.
illegal clip from like the
Why don't do
2000s
it?
movies.
Any
man.
unauthorized reproduction of this NFL football game, the FBI is going to get involved. Okay.
Yeah, none of
Better
us
not
would
be
ever
streaming-
pirate anything. I don't even know what a
Yeah.
torrent is.
Yeah. Better
Don't
not
know.
be re-streaming this stream, or my lawyer will be in touch. All right? Okay.
Can you make a theory crafting channel in your Discord? Absolutely. I'll do that after the podcast. And that's probably one thing that we forgot to add to our final slate is our Discord groups. Do you have a Discord, Donnie? But probably not
I
for
do.
public, right?
I have no, I do.
Okay.
I
Jay does for sure. Jay, you have a healthy Discord group, right?
Yes,
Healthy.
a Discord. up
Mine's
and going.
obese. Mild early onset diabetes in my Discord group.
Boys, I think this was a very, very fun first episode of the
Yeah, I had a
Darkest
blast.
Hour. This is very good. I think it's going to be fun digging into the game on a deeper level. As we stated, every episode will have a main segment or two where we dig into patch notes or a specific class, or we rank, all the weapons in the game and debate about what's good or what's bad or what's shit. Maybe one day this will blossom into something where we can get an Iron Mace dev on. Because as Jay said earlier, and he made a great point, one of the best parts about this game is the dev team. They are located in a suburb of Seoul, southeast of Seoul. And actually, when I was stationed in Korea back in 2008,
Wait, they're
2000,
Korean?
they're outside of Seoul. Yeah, they were
I did not know
actually
that.
their office is like 30 minutes away from where I used to live, or 35 minutes
That's
away from where I used to live in Korea. Yeah.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
they're like in like a cool little tech area of Seoul, which is awesome. A lot of game devs there and shit like that. But yeah, they're awesome.
Jiu-jitsu gym of the tech area.
Yeah, exactly. Their dev studio was a jiu-jitsu studio that the CEO and I guess lead dev of Iron Mace set up the initial team in, and like they had their desks on mats. So like
That is
squishy ass
hilarious.
mats as they're trying to type and shit. But
Dude,
yeah,
just getting caught in an armbar by your boss. He's like, report it.
yeah, exactly. And the guy looks like
Yeah.
he looks pretty beefy, pretty
He's
tough.
just holding you down. He's like, we don't tap in this this development office.
But yeah, their story is cool. Iron Mace seems really awesome. They just seem like passionate nerds who got sick of the corporate side of game development.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sick of that shit too. So I get it.
Same.
Yeah, the heroes that we needed. Anyway, this was episode 1 of The Darkest Hour. I've been joined by Donnie and by JayGriffYuh. Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure and an honor doing this podcast with you tonight. We will be back next Saturday at 9 p.m. PT. Here's the thing, though. I am moving to Las Vegas Saturday.
Sunday or Saturday? Sunday, right?
Sundays at 9 p.m. PT is the podcast.
Yes.
I am
Sunday.
moving to Las Vegas next weekend, so I'm going to be calling in on my phone on Discord while Jay or Donnie run the stream. And that's okay. I mean, I'll typically probably run it just because I have a lot of
Be prepared. That's
a
all
lot
I'm
of
saying.
a lot of experience
When
producing
Dad's
shit.
gone, kids play. All right. Next week's gonna be wild.
can be
I'll be
We're
on my
getting
phone.
canceled.
I'll be on my phone.
We're getting canceled week 2. Like, I'm gonna say some crazy stuff. I'm
can't
gonna go on
wait.
an Epstein rant next week. Just get ready,
no.
Chad.
Oh God,
the
I can't
island,
wait.
you guy. I'm bringing
I
my
can't
blackboard
wait.
out. I'm just gonna. Yeah,
I can't
it's gonna be
wait.
yarn.
I'm so excited. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys are beautiful, chat. Thank you so much for watching. Gentlemen, see you guys next Sunday. All right. Awesome.
I can't do the salute on the way out.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Awesome.
I'll hit.
That free editing software we talked about. You can edit
Yeah,
the
there
end.
you go.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
There we go. There we go. There we
Anyway.
go. Okay. That is hilarious. Thanks for watching. Okay. We have some
Thank
we
you
have
for
some
hosting,
work to do.
Soma.
We have some
It
work
was
to
very
do.
fun.
That was awesome.
Yep.